Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine, if you will, the bustling halls of a high school. Usually buzzing with everyday stuff, quizzes, cafeteria drama, who likes who.
The usual teenage stuff, yeah.
Exactly. But today, we're sort of peeling back those layers. We're looking at something, well, honestly, way more intricate and kind of sinister.
Mm-hmm.
We're diving deep into this high-stakes dual mystery, and it's all unfolding in what seems like a totally normal place, the annual science fair.
Right. And you, listening in, you're not just, on the sidelines here. We want you to join us, be like a co-investigator.
Yeah. We've got this stack of evidence, really compelling stuff, and we need to piece it all together, figure out what actually went down.
Absolutely right. Our mission for this deep dive is to really meticulously dissect these sources we've got. And there are fascinating, detailed notes, some really revealing conversations, sharp observations.
And they all come from this one source, right? This high school sleuth, Cass.
Yeah, Cass. Incredibly sharp. These aren't just random notes. We're going to pull out every crucial insight, connect the dots between things that might seem totally separate at first.
And hopefully solve these two intertwined puzzles. Because if they don't get solved, well, it could change lives, friendships, futures. For real.
It really could.
Yeah.
Because you hit it right there. This isn't just one thing.
No, it's like a double whammy, right? A synchronized attack, almost.
Exactly. First, you've got the immediate, tangible problem. Someone is sabotaging the top projects at the annual science fair. And this is a big deal.
Huge! We're not talking about hurt feelings over a bad grade. This is scholarships on the line, regional media attention potentially lost, even interest from a private tech incubator.
Yeah, these are life-altering opportunities for these students. Just poof, gone. Systematically destroyed.
And then woven into all that academic chaos, there's this other layer, this deeply personal, emotional mystery.
The second puzzle.
Why is someone trying so hard, so maliciously, to break apart this really close friendship? They're using a private, vulnerable moment to do it.
It's not random, that's for sure. It feels calculated, like designed specifically to sow distrust, cause maximum emotional pain. It adds this incredibly human, poignant layer to what might just look like vandalism on the surface.
Totally. So get ready. As we go through these sources, we're going to uncover some stuff that's genuinely surprising. Intricate connections. It'll make you rethink high school, maybe science competitions, definitely human motivation.
It really might. What we find could show that sometimes the biggest betrayals happen, really close to home. And finding the truth means dealing with facts, sure, but also with some really deep personal feelings.
Okay, let's kick off our investigation. Segment 1. The prestigious science fair and its unraveling. To really get what's going on here, we need to understand just how important this annual science fair is at this school. It's not your average bake sale and volcano setup.
Oh, absolutely not. The sources make that crystal clear. This isn't just, an academic thing or a school tradition. This fair, it's a magnet.
A magnet? For who?
Well, it pulls in scholarship judges from top universities, regional media looking for the next big local success story. And this is huge, a representative from a private tech incubator.
Wow. Okay. So for these kids, especially the ones who are really serious, who've put in years of work, this fair isn't just a contest.
No, it's a springboard, a potential launch pad. It's a direct line to their future careers, maybe college funding, opportunities that could genuinely change their lives.
It sounds like a make or break moment for a lot of them. I mean, think about it. A scholarship, that could mean avoiding huge student debt, getting into a dream school.
Right. And media attention. That could lead to early recognition, maybe even national notice, building a profile early on.
And the tech incubator rep. That's not just a handshake, is it? That's potentially seed money, mentorship, connections for someone just starting out. Huge.
Exactly. So when we talk about sabotage here, it's not just a prank. It's not minor damage. This is an attack on years of hard work, on dreams, on these potentially life-changing future opportunities.
Someone wasn't just breaking stuff. They were trying to break futures.
That's a good way to put it. The pressure on these kids must be immense. Almost suffocating.
And that kind of pressure, it can bring out the worst in people, can't it?
Unfortunately, yeah. Intense jealousy, maybe a ruthless desire to just eliminate the competition.
Yeah.
Or, as we might find out here, something more complicated, maybe ideological.
So the first big question is, who would do this? And why? Is it just petty revenge, or is there something deeper driving them? Maybe some twisted sense of righteousness.
It's the core question, isn't it? And we get a really vivid picture of this competitive pressure through one of the main characters, Dr. J. He's Cass's best friend.
Right. The sources say he's swept the fair since middle school.
Exactly. So he's not just talented, he's like a science fair legend at this school, a prodigy. His constant success sets an incredibly high bar.
Which highlights the level of talent these kids have, but also it probably puts a target on his back, right?
Absolutely. Success breeds rivals. And that leads us straight to Dr. J's project for this year's fair. It sounds pretty groundbreaking.
Where was it?
The sources describe it as this innovative prototype solar cell. It attaches right onto the back of a laptop.
Okay. Solar cell on a laptop? I've sort of heard of things like that. What's special here?
The versatility. It charges from any light source. Sunlight, obviously, but also standard fluorescent lights, even LEDs.
Okay, that's neat.
But here's the real kicker. The truly ingenious part. It's apparently so efficient that, and I quote, it even gets a little charge from itself watching a movie in the dark from the light of the screen.
Wait, what? It charges itself from the laptop screen's own light?
Apparently so. A little bit, anyway.
I think that's genuinely revolutionary. I mean, who hasn't had their laptop die while watching something late at night, scrambling for a charger? This isn't just theoretical. It's like a real solution to a common problem.
Exactly. And Dr. J apparently dismisses his old project, an artificial eye that sees 3 times the spectrum, as a 8th grade.
Okay, wow. Yeah, that definitely highlights his talent and the kind of projects we're talking about here. That sets the standard really high for what got targeted.
It does. And that detail's important. This project isn't just techie for the sake of it. It taps right into these huge, relevant themes. Sustainable tech, renewable energy.
Right, real-world problems, portable power, energy efficiency.
Exactly. Its relevance goes way beyond the school gym. It could be a patent, a startup, maybe even help with global energy issues. So sabotaging this specific project, it hints maybe at a deeper opposition, perhaps even ideological, to these kinds of advancements.
And someone definitely wanted to stop it. Which brings us to the first devastating wave of sabotage. The sources say the initial victims were Noiri and Nico Barnes.
Right. Nairi's project sounds particularly amazing, almost futuristic. She's growing her own skin cells.
For what?
For rapid healing. Like you get a cut or scrape, you just paint the cut with the slurry of your own cells and, quote, hours later it's completely healed.
Seriously, that's incredible. Like something out of science fiction, but real. Huge potential.
And then, just like that, her cells were completely killed by salt.
Salt, just simple salt.
Seems so. But the impact was total. The sources stressed she'd been growing these cells for months, pouring everything into it. This wasn't just minor damage, it was deliberate, total destruction. Someone knew exactly how to wipe out her work.
Devastating. And what about Nico?
Nico Barnes. His project was about growing yeast as an alternative meat source. He was really passionate linking it to global warming, population growth.
Sounds like he cared a lot.
Yeah, he said he'd been a vegetarian since kindergarten, so he was definitely preaching to the choir with this project, living his values through science.
Okay, so what happened to his project?
His yeast, which was supposed to be pretty hardy, was ruined, mysteriously. The notes say by unknown means, maybe extreme heat or cold, vinegar, or maybe salt again. The method wasn't immediately clear.
The ambiguity there is interesting, like someone tried to cover their tracks?
Possibly. But notice the pattern. Salt definitely used on Nairi's delicate cells, and something equally effective, maybe similar, maybe different, used on Nico's tougher yeast. It points to a methodical approach, not random vandalism. Right. And the fact that both involve cutting-edge biology, skin regeneration, alternative food that feels significant, doesn't it?
It does. Is the saboteur targeting biology specifically? Maybe things they see as, I don't know, unnatural, playing God?
That's a really interesting question. It pushes the motive beyond just competition. Who would want to stop progress in healing or sustainable food? Is it malice? Or something deeper, like an ideology that sees this science as wrong? The precision suggests conviction.
Yeah. And the initial response sets the stage for our sleuth cast, right?
Exactly. Mr. Landry, a staff member, jumps in immediately, starts running tests to figure out what ruined Nico's yeast.
And Nico
Showed incredible resilience, went straight home to start a new batch, hoping he could still make the fair deadline.
Wow. That just highlights the urgency, doesn't it? And the desperation.
Yeah.
And it leads us right into the next phase where things get personal. All right, buckle up, because here's where it's really interesting. We're into segment 2, a personal attack amidst the chaos. So while all this science fair drama is unfolding, something really personal happens to Cass. It completely tangles up their inner world with this external mystery.
Right. Kaz is just trying to do something practical, get a camera for the science lab, presumably to help with the investigation, and then, totally unexpectedly, they get kissed by Jada Morales in the AV room.
Whoa, okay, unexpected.
Totally. And the notes capture Cass's reaction so vividly, they kiss back, but then immediately flee the room, just overwhelmed, confused about their own sexuality.
The notes mention that specifically.
Oh, yeah. The internal thoughts are right there. Am I gay? Bi? Pan? Total confusion. Apparently, Cass didn't even think Jada liked them, which just adds to the shock.
That's such a real moment, isn't it? That sudden jolt that makes you question everything about yourself. And the shock, the confusion, the instinct to just run. So human, especially for a teenager.
Absolutely. It instantly adds this deep, vulnerable, personal layer to the whole story. Makes Cass incredibly relatable.
You have to wonder about Jada's motive too, right? Was it spontaneous? Or was there some history there, maybe tied to that bickering dynamic we hear about later?
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. But almost immediately after this intense personal moment, things take a really sinister turn, don't they?
They do. Someone deliberately slips this anonymous note into Dr. J's locker, Cass's best friend.
And the note is nasty.
Chillingly manipulative is how I describe it. It says, you think you know her. Ask Cassidy who she kissed in the AV room. Maybe you don't know your best friend at all.
Oof. That phrasing, you think you know her, it's just dripping with malice, clearly designed to create distrust, break that friendship apart.
Exactly. This isn't just gossip. It's a calculated strike against their bond. And the timing. Right in the middle of the science fair sabotage. Which immediately makes you ask, are these two things connected? Same person behind both? Or is someone just taking advantage of the chaos to be cruel?
It's a chilling possibility. This note instantly raises the personal stakes of this deep dive for you, the listener. It's not just about stolen projects anymore. It's about betraying friendships.
Yeah, that note is basically a weapon. It adds this huge layer of emotional complexity. Shows how quickly even strong friendships can fray when hit with something so direct, so insidious.
And the sources say Dr. J is pissed when he gets it. So the note worked, at least initially. Caused a rift, planted doubt. The friendship itself was the target.
So now Cass and Dr. J are facing this double burden. Two mysteries at once. The science fair sabotage threatening their futures, and this personal attack threatening their friendship.
How do you even focus? How do you solve the sabotage when your trust in your best friend is shaken and you're grappling with huge questions about your own identity?
It adds so much depth, doesn't it? And urgency. Cass isn't just solving a crime now. They're fighting for their friendship and figuring themselves out. It's a really human journey.
And that personal betrayal, it doesn't distract Cass. It seems to fuel them. It makes finding the culprit even more critical. It's not just about vandalism anymore. It's about finding who would do something so cruel and why.
It's about protecting their friend, understanding the motive, and for Cass, coming to terms with this new part of their identity. The need to investigate just exploded, driven by both academic stuff and this fierce personal loyalty.
Yeah. The path forward needs clarity not just about who did it, but about themselves and their most important relationships.
Okay, moving smoothly into segment 3, early clues and suspicions. Despite all that emotional chaos, that huge personal revelation, Cass stays remarkably focused, like a true sleuth.
Totally. Their immediate practical thought after the initial shock wears off is surveillance. Install a small wireless camera in the science lab.
Smart. Catch the culprit in the act.
Exactly. And they get help, right? Ms. Cho, one of the science fair judges, she's on board, actually helps Cass set it up.
That's good. Shows the adults are taking it seriously.
Definitely. It highlights Cass's resourcefulness, even under pressure. And Ms. Cho's cooperation shows the school knows this isn't just kids messing around. It's serious. That student-staff partnership is key here.
And Miss Cho provides another vital piece of the puzzle, something any detective needs to know first.
Access. Who could actually get into the lab?
Right. She reveals who has keys. And it's a very short list.
Who's on it?
The principal, the vice principal, Miss Cho herself, and Mr. Briggs, the head of maintenance.
Okay, just 4 people. And she confirms the doors were locked after the sabotage incident.
Yep, locked tight. So the implication is unavoidable. Someone with a key was involved, had to be.
That narrows it down significantly. Gives Cass a concrete starting point. The who has keys question is always fundamental in these things, right? It tells you the method, points to potential suspects.
Then comes this big scientific break, the chemical fingerprint you called it.
Yeah. Cass finds out from Mr. Landry's tests what was used to destroy both Nairi's skin cells and Nico's yeast. It was chlorine.
Chlorine, like bleach.
But here's the crucial distinction. It wasn't common household bleach. It was specifically the kind used in public pools. Higher grade, more concentrated.
Pool chlorine. Okay, that is specific. That changes things, doesn't it?
Absolutely. This wasn't someone grabbing Clorox from under the sink. This points to someone with access to industrial-grade chemicals, maybe through their job or, I don't know, a very specific hobby.
It suggests planning, capability, knowing what would work. It elevates the whole thing beyond a simple prank. The method points towards the person.
Exactly. Rules out a casual student act. This was deliberate by someone with specific means. Now things get even weirder. Outside the lab, Cass finds something else.
What?
Religious vandalism, scrawled on the wall. A specific Bible quote. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over," the Genesis 1.26 creation verse.
Okay, that's...
Very. And underneath that quote, someone wrote, "I'm no monkey."
Wow, okay. That injects a whole new dimension, doesn't it? Ideology.
Totally. It screams conflict between a literal creationist view and, well, science, especially evolution. And think about the projects that got hit. Growing skin cells, yeast for food.
Things someone might see as playing God or messing with the natural order.
Precisely. And this clue, it immediately puts Mr. Briggs, the maintenance head with the keys, under a much brighter spotlight.
Why him specifically?
Because Cass's notes, and later Dr. J confirms this, describe Briggs as not just religious, but ultra-religious. And critically, homophobic.
Homophobic? How do they know?
There was an incident. After Dr. J came out, Briggs apparently cornered him, told him to repent and have a care for your soul.
Okay, that's pretty extreme and hostile.
Right, so it provides this powerful personal motive that aligns perfectly with that Bible quote and the "I'm no monkey" line. It suggests maybe a rejection of science that challenges his literal interpretation of creation, makes the biology project's prime target.
So you've got Briggs with the keys, access possibly to pool chemicals through his job, and this documented ideological opposition to science and documented homophobia.
It paints a very concerning picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Suggests someone acting on what they see as a moral imperative, maybe. Makes the sabotage feel much darker, more calculated.
Yeah. And just to muddy the waters even more, Cass finds another note.
Yep. Tucked in their own locker this time. Trying to point the finger elsewhere. It just says, Devin Holt is the one who destroyed the science experiment.
Devin Holt? Who's that?
Seems like just another student. Cass adds him to the list, but is immediately skeptical. Thinks maybe it's someone Devin scammed in the past trying to get revenge using the chaos.
Oh, the classic red herring.
Textbook. Designed to throw Cass off the trail. But it shows Cass's critical thinking, right? They're just accepting things at face value. Essential for a detective.
Definitely. So now Cass has to sort through real clues, personal drama, and deliberate misinformation.
It's a lot to handle, especially under all that pressure. But Cass seems up for it, sifting through the noise to find the truth. This segment really shows how messy finding the truth can be.
All right, let's dive into segment 4, repairing friendship, uncovering motives. This is where the heart of the story really beats, I think. Dr. J is, as you'd expect, really upset about that anonymous note and about the kiss.
Understandably. Hurt, angry, confused. But Cass handles it with remarkable honesty, apologizes immediately for not telling Dr. J sooner.
Why didn't they?
Cass explains it had literally just happened. They were still reeling, processing the shock, the confusion, the big questions it raised about their identity.
That makes sense. It's a huge thing to process.
Yeah.
How does Dr. J react to the apology?
His first worry is actually about their social circle, their gaming group. He makes that comment, "You don't crap where you eat," like worried about making things awkward.
Yeah, that's relatable, worrying about the D&D group dynamics.
Right. It shows how deep their friendship is, that shared space. But then the strength of their bond really shines through.
How so?
Cass's raw honesty and Dr. J's forgiveness is just immediate, unconditional. He says, "Of course I do. You know I was always going to."
Oh, that's really strong. It shows the note worked in causing pain, but ultimately the friendship was stronger.
Exactly. The saboteur tried to divide them and almost succeeded for a moment, but their trust runs deeper. And that moment of honesty, it opens the door for Cass to share more.
How about the kiss and their feelings?
Yeah. With the air cleared, Cass tells Dr. J it was Jada. And admits, yeah, they were shocked, but also liked that kiss and thought about it a lot.
Wow, that's a huge admission.
It is. And it triggers this intense self-reflection. Cass literally says, "I just have to figure out if I'm lesbian, bi, pan, or somewhere else on the spectrum." It's a genuine identity crisis happening right alongside the detective work.
That makes Cass so much more than just a clever kid solving a mystery. It's incredibly relatable. Anyone who's ever questioned themselves can connect with that.
Absolutely. And Cass even gives context, contrasting this kiss with a really awkward first kiss back in first grade with Billy Jeffries for $6.
$6? What happened?
Apparently it was gross, and it made Cass avoid dating entirely until maybe college. It explains some of that initial shock and conflict after the Jada kiss, past experiences shaping present feelings.
That detail about Billy Jeffries and the Nancy Drew novel Cass bought with the money, it's such a perfect, vivid little anecdote. Makes Cass's journey feel so real.
It really does.
Yeah.
Shows how unexpected moments, even awkward past ones, can shape who we are. And speaking of unexpected, Cass has this insight into their relationship with Jada before the kiss.
What was that?
Cass explains their dynamic as constant bickering. Describes it like in those old movies you love where the two characters just bicker until suddenly they're kissing and hugging.
Ah, the romantic comedy trope.
Exactly. And Dr. J, the movie buff, immediately identifies them as screwball comedies. This makes Cass wonder, was I signaling Jada? Like maybe the bickering was a form of unspoken attraction.
That's a fascinating psychological insight. It reframes the whole Jada situation.
Totally. It suggests maybe there was this hidden tension or affection expressed through antagonism. And it explains why Cass immediately tells Dr. J not to give Jada a hard time about it.
Because Cass now feels like they were part of it, some agency in the situation.
Precisely. It wasn't just something that happened to Cass. It was maybe a mutual, if confusing, breakthrough. It shifts the dynamic completely.
So the friendship is repaired. Cass is processing this huge self-discovery. What happens next with the investigation?
Well, resolving the friendship tension actually refocuses them. Dr. J's immediate reaction after they make up is, now we need to catch who outed you.
Ah, so the personal attack becomes a motivator.
A huge motivator. It reinforces that dual mystery. The culprit isn't just attacking projects, they're attacking their friendship, their personal lives. The stakes are now intensely personal for both Cass and Dr. J.
So that shared goal strengthens their bond even more.
Absolutely. And propels the investigation forward with new energy. It's about intellectual curiosity, yeah, but also fierce loyalty.
And then right on cue, Cass finds something crucial, right? Physical evidence.
Exactly. Almost like the universe rewarding their renewed focus. While heading to lunch, Cass spots an empty plastic jug near the dumpsters.
And it looks familiar.
Looks just like I was on the internet when I was researching liquid chlorine.
The pool chlorine.
Bingo. A massive drake. Tangible physical evidence linking the sabotage method to a specific container. And the location near the dumpsters suggests a hasty, improper disposal, trying to hide it.
So this jug becomes a key piece of evidence.
Absolutely. Cass knows immediately they need to talk to Coach Thompson about it. He'd know about the pool shed, where that chlorine is kept, how it's handled. It's Cass's sharp observation turning a random find into a crucial clue. Connects the chemical fingerprint to a real object.
Okay, let's untangle segment 5. Shifting timelines and misdirection. First, there's a big change for the science fair itself. What happens?
Mrs. Cho, the head judge, makes an announcement. Nairi and Nico, the students whose projects were sabotaged, they get an extra week to recover. So 2 weeks total from now until the judging.
That seems fair. Gives them a fighting chance.
It does. And apparently the guest judges, the industry reps, they all agreed to reschedule, which shows how important their projects were seen to be.
But does that extension help or hurt the investigation?
That's the question, isn't it? On one hand, it's good for the victims. On the other, it gives the saboteur more time, maybe to strike again. Or maybe they feel they got away with it. It definitely prolongs the tension.
Right. And speaking of complications, Cass overhears something really weird involving John Talbot and Coach Thompson.
Yeah, this is bizarre. Cass hears Talbot telling the coach, basically, hey, Cass is investigating, so I planted a false clue pointing to me. If anyone asks about an empty chlorine jug, just say you suspect me, okay?
Talbot wants the coach to lie for him and point suspicion his way.
Why? It's unclear why he wants to look guilty, maybe some weird attempt at reverse psychology or just being disruptive. But the coach actually agrees to it. Says he'll blame Talbot.
That's incredibly suspicious behavior from both of them.
Totally. But here's the twist within the twist. Talbot tells the coach the jug was found by the dumpster.
Which matches exactly where Cass found it.
Exactly. So even while Talbot is trying to mislead about who did it, he inadvertently confirms a key detail about the crime, the improper disposal location.
And the coach adds something important too, right? About procedure.
Yeah, coach confirms that empty jugs like that are supposed to be returned to the storage shed, not just tossed in the trash. which implies the culprit deliberately ditched it improperly. Another sign of guilt.
What does the coach say to Talbot? Something about tech nerds.
Yeah, something like, "Sure, John, I'm always saying those tech nerds need toughing up. I meant physically, not mentally." Shows his kind of gruff attitude, but also his willingness to go along with his weird deception.
So Cass, armed with this new, confusing info, confronts Coach Thompson directly.
Yep. And the coach drops another bombshell. A new theory floating around the school administration.
What theory?
Admin apparently believes that at least one of those destroyed experiments was a failure, and the student was lying about the results.
Wait, they think a student faked the sabotage?
Yeah. The theory is the student destroyed their own project, and maybe someone else's too, to cover up the fact that it wasn't working. So whoever's project fails again after the extension, they'll be the prime suspect.
Wow, that puts incredible pressure back on Nairi and Nico, and it's totally unfair if they were genuinely sabotaged.
Completely unfair. Turns the victims into suspects in the eyes of the school leaders. Adds a whole new layer of anxiety for them.
And does Coach Thompson reveal anything else useful during this confrontation?
Yes, something critical. He clarifies exactly who has keys to the shed where the pool chlorine is stored, the actual source of the weapon.
Okay, who has access there?
He says, unequivocally, just me, Mr. Briggs, and Mr. Sharp.
Okay, so him, Briggs, and this other maintenance guy, Mr. Sharp. That narrows down access to the chlorine itself to just 3 people.
Vital information. Because now you have a very short list of people with access to both the location of the crime, the lab, and the means, the chlorine.
So this whole segment just throws everything up in the air again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
False leads, competing theories from admin, but also crucial new info about who could access the chlorine.
Exactly. It shows how investigations twist and turn. Cass has to prove Nairi and Nico's innocence now, while also figuring out which of those 3 key holders, Coach, Briggs, or Sharp, had the motive and opportunity. It's getting complex.
Okay, let's get into segment 6, confirming innocence, pinpointing guilt. That admin theory about self-sabotage has put Nairi and Nico in a terrible position. What does Cass do?
Cass, being thorough and clearly believing in her friends, goes straight to Nico to confront him about the suspicion. Not aggressively, but to understand.
How does Nico react?
Genuinely shocked, hurt by the idea. And he immediately, eagerly wants to show Cass his new yeast batch.
And how's it looking? Or smelling?
That's the great detail. The notes say, it smells like a bakery on bread day.
Huh. That's definitive proof it's working, right? A good smell like that.
Absolutely. It's thriving. That sensory detail just wipes away the admin's cynical theory. It's not just viable, it's successful.
And Nairi, does Cass check her project too?
Yep. Nairi is just as eager to show her work. Her new batch of skin cells has apparently doubled in size since yesterday.
Wow, so both projects are clearly working well.
Undeniably. It completely vindicates them. They weren't covering up failures, they were victims of sabotage, and they're talented enough to restart successfully. This removes them entirely from the suspect list.
That must be a huge relief for Cass. Now they can focus.
Exactly. It disproves that whole failed experiment theory and lets Cass pivot back with total certainty toward the real suspects, the ones with key access and suspicious motives. Nairi and Nico are innocent.
So with them cleared, Cass goes straight for Mr. Briggs, knowing about his keys and that religious vandalism.
Right. Cass confronts him directly about the sabotage.
How does Briggs react this time?
Predictably deflective. Immediately blames one of those students doing the ungodly experiments. He actually leans into the admin theory, claiming they vandalized their own stuff to hide failures.
So he's doubling down on blaming the victims, revealing his bias.
Totally. His immediate deflection, the angry tone, constantly calling the experiments ungodly, it all reinforces that religious bias as a powerful motive. But the key moment is when Cass challenges him on access.
What does Cass say?
Points out the fact. Only you and Mr. Sharp have keys to both the science lab and the pool shed where the chlorine is stored. You have access to both the scene and the weapon.
And how does Briggs respond to that direct challenge?
He has no logical answer. Just bluster, maybe? His inability to explain away his unique access makes him look incredibly suspicious. His silence on that specific point is deafening.
And then he says something else, unprompted, something about Jada and the note.
Yes. Almost slips up, or maybe he can't resist. He mutters something linking Jada to the anonymous note about the kiss.
Why is that significant?
Because it strongly suggests he might be the one who wrote and delivered that note to Dr. J. Think about it.
Right.
He has access to lockers. He has this intense moralistic judgment. He has hostility towards Dr. J's identity and Cass's sinful kiss. He fits the profile perfectly for that kind of personal attack, too.
Wow. So it potentially links him to both crimes, the sabotage and the outing note,
Yeah.
driven by the same intolerance.
It creates this really chilling connection, suggests a single perpetrator behind both, fueled by this dangerous mix of ideology and personal animosity. It's not just about science, it's about enforcing his view of morality.
Okay, so Briggs is looking really guilty. Then Cass has this accidental encounter, right, with Luna Tesh.
Yeah, the resident alien spotter.
Yeah.
Pure luck, but game-changing. Luna was near the science lab the night of the vandalism, doing her alien watch.
And she saw something, or recorded something.
Recorded something. She had video set up. No aliens, sadly for her.
But
It captured a large maintenance cart being wheeled right up to, and then inside, the science lab door.
a maintenance cart. Okay, that points to staff. Could she see who it was?
Not clearly. The person was big and most likely male, but hidden in shadows. However, Luna confidently identifies the person as Mr. Sharp. Says he even waved when she yelled, "Hi, Mr. Sharp."
She thinks it was Mr. Sharp, the other maintenance guy with keys.
That's what she claims. It's a remarkable piece of luck, visual evidence. The cart strongly suggests a staff member. The size fits an adult male. But the misidentification of Sharp adds intrigue. Was the real culprit maybe trying to look like Sharp,
Yeah.
mimicking a wave?
Interesting. Luna sounds like quite a character, too.
Oh yeah, her dialogue about sweaty boys slamming each other adds some color, but her footage is vital. It's undeniable proof someone official-looking entered the lab at night with a cart, presumably carrying that chlorine. Visual confirmation.
So now suspicion potentially shifts to Mr. Sharp.
It seems that way for a moment. But just as Cass is processing this, Jada Miralles intercepts them.
Ah, Jada. Time for another conversation.
A really important one. Jada immediately apologizes, genuinely remorseful about the kiss, how it wasn't consensual, how she upset Cass,
And how does Cass respond this time?
with incredible maturity and honesty. Reassures Jada, admits they were shocked, yeah, but also liked it, and were just processing their own feelings. It's this beautiful moment of resolution, mutual understanding, empathy. Clears the air completely.
That's great. Does Jada offer anything else besides the apology?
Yes, catalyzed by this moment of honesty, Jada reveals something crucial she witnessed. She saw Mr. Briggs.
When? Where?
She saw Briggs going into the school around 11 p.m., and he was carrying something heavy the night of the vandalism.
Briggs. Entering the school late, carrying something heavy at the right time.
Exactly. This is the final piece. Jada's direct, credible eyewitness account puts Briggs at the scene at the right time, carrying something heavy, almost certainly the chlorine jug.
And this lines up perfectly with everything else.
Perfectly. It matches the maintenance cart Luna saw on video and the empty jug Cass found by the dumpsters. It's a powerful, direct accusation from a credible witness, especially now the personal tension is resolved. It cements the case against Briggs.
Wow. All these random seeming pieces, the kiss, the Bible quotes, the alien hunters video, the jug, Jada's sighting, they all locked together pointing straight at Briggs. Cass has done it.
Okay, this is it. Segment 7, the grand unveiling. Cass has pieced it all together. They're ready to go to the principal.
Yeah.
But first, one loose end to tie up right. Mr. Sharp.
Exactly. Showing real fairness, Cass needs to officially clear Sharp. Luna mistakenly ID'd. So Cass confronts him directly, asks where he was that night.
How does Sharp react?
Initially a bit defensive, refuses to answer. Understandable, maybe given his job. But when Cass presents Luna's supposed sighting, he gives a solid alibi.
What was it?
He says he was home alone on a Zoom call with my D&D group at 11 p.m. that night. And crucially, he offers to give the principal the names of everyone on the call for verification. D&D to the rescue again. Okay, so multiple witnesses can confirm his alibi. That definitely clears him.
Absolutely. His willingness to provide proof seals it. It highlights why you can't just jump to conclusions based on one possibly mistaken eyewitness. Got to verify. Cass did the right thing, double-checking.
Right. So Mr. Sharp is cleared, and he's actually present when Cass goes to the principal.
Seems so. And then Cass just lays it all out, the full case. It's the climax of the investigation, showing off Cass's meticulous work, logical thinking, ability to synthesize everything.
So walk us through it. How does Cass present the case?
It's like the, so what does this all mean moment. Cass starts with the basics, the vandalism itself, then connects the specific type of chlorine pool grade to that empty jug found near the dumpsters, establishes means and suspicious disposal.
Then the access piece.
Crucial. Highlights Mr. Briggs's unique key access. He's one of only 2 people, besides the coach, with keys to both the science lab and the pool supply shed. Opportunity locked down.
And then the motive. The why.
This is where Cass brings in the ideology. Links that Genesis quote, "and I'm no monkey," scrawled outside the lab directly to Briggs' known documented homophobia, specifically mentioning how Briggs told Dr. J he was going to hell after coming out.
So motive laid bare. Religious extremism, homophobia, disdain for ungodly science challenging his beliefs.
Exactly. A powerful personal reason driving his actions. Then Cass brings in Luna's video of the figure with the maintenance cart.
But explains why it wasn't Sharp.
Right. Uses logic. Sharp, finding a student like Luna on campus that late, would have questioned her. The person in the video didn't. So likely it wasn't Sharp. Turns the misidentification into more evidence against Briggs.
Brilliant. And the final nail.
Jada's eyewitness account, placing Briggs entering the school 11 p.m. carrying something heavy, the clincher. Each piece builds on the last, confirms the others. It's an airtight case. Irrefutable.
How does the principal react?
Totally validates Cass's work. Says it was nicely done.
Yeah.
Recognizes the thoroughness. And, importantly for Cass, lets them off detention.
A tangible reward. So the external mystery, the sabotage, is solved. Satisfying.
Very. And then there's that lovely little resolution for the personal storyline, too.
Right. Cass tells Dr. J they're not taking the bus home.
Yeah. Says with a bit of a smile, Jada's giving me a ride.
And Dr. J's reaction?
Classic best friend teasing. O-H-H. A ride H. Followed by Cass playfully telling him to grow up.
Oh, that's perfect. It brings that whole personal journey, the confusion, the apology, the self-discovery to this hopeful, sweet close. Shows their friendship is solid, maybe even stronger.
Definitely. The deep dive successfully navigated both the tricky intellectual puzzle and that really profound emotional journey. It shows how solving external problems can sometimes lead to unexpected, life-changing personal growth and connections. The disruption led to authenticity.
Yeah, it's a really nice, almost cinematic ending to that part. Shows that even with sabotage and betrayal, bonds can heal, strengthen, and lead to new understanding. So reflecting back, we started this deep dive with what looked like two separate things. A science fair sabotage, messing with futures, and this really personal attack trying to ruin a friendship.
Right, and by carefully digging into Cass's notes, the conversations, the clues, we saw how they were completely intertwined. One person, one malicious force behind both.
And we saw Cass, right in the middle of their own personal upheaval, questioning their identity, still managed to use sharp observation, critical thinking, resilience, navigating all that misdirection.
It really highlights that danger of information overload, doesn't it? How crucial it is to figure out what's a real clue versus a deliberate red herring, like that note about Devin Holt. Trust your gut, but verify. Always verify.
Yeah. And it's a powerful illustration of how deep-seated biases like Mr. Briggs's homophobia, his rigid religious views can fester and turn into really destructive actions. Affecting projects, sure, but also people's lives, their relationships.
Absolutely. And it takes real courage to chase the truth, especially when you have to be vulnerable yourself or when you have to confront someone in authority, someone with power.
We also saw how those huge life-altering personal discoveries like Cass bravely exploring their sexuality can happen right alongside solving these big external problems. Sometimes they even fuel each other.
Yeah, the internal and external are often so connected. Profound self-understanding can pop up in the middle of chaos, maybe even because of the chaos.
So, as you, our listener, think about this story, the science, the secrets, the detective work, maybe consider this. How often do things in your life that seem unrelated, maybe a project at work, a personal secret you're holding, suddenly collide and reveal some hidden truth, maybe about the situation, maybe about yourself?
Right. And what can we really learn about human motivation, about loyalty, about resilience, when those different threads weave together like that? Think about the different kinds of sabotage we might face, professionally or personally. Subtle stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
And beyond just finding the culprit, think about the importance of having those trusted friends, people who stand by you, help you navigate when things get rough. What really stands out to you in this whole complex web of intentions, ambition, and ultimately the strength of friendship.